listening. Maybe just listening, maybe just watching. I don't know. Episode 12 of the Soul and Monk Show. I don't have a guest today. I don't feel very good, but I still wanted to put out another episode. So I'm going to talk through a drawing. I'm going to draw and talk. A draw talk. I have like this little $50 pen tablet that I use for a lot of my digital drawings. So it's pretty easy for me to just pull this thing up and start working on something. And I use it pretty often. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably see that I post drawings pretty much all the time. That's because of this and a program called GIMP. If you guys want to get into digital drawing, you have a pretty sweet setup for about 50 bucks. I fucking hate Amazon, but my roommate bought this for me, so it was like a Christmas gift. It's like, hey, here's the thing, I know you like drawing. It's like, alright. I had bought one before, like a really nice one, but it broke and then I swore them off because I only had it for like a week. So right now I'm drawing Hubert, which is a character in my comics and some of my drawings and some of my novels and short stories. He's kind of like a humanoid bear. But he's the tender side of my psyche, I believe. I don't know why I put that backwards. But yeah, so here's my style. It's pretty simple. I don't think about my drawings, I just draw. I like working with characters so that way I don't have to think about them as much and I can just kind of pop into the world, and a lot of this stuff just seems to make it itself. The less you worry about it. So try not to think about what I'm drawing. I try to just know whatever the character is, whatever the world is, get in that mindset and get into a deep flow state. And lately I've been using my brush tool without the dynamics on. It's just been interesting when you give yourself like limitations, what kind of interesting patterns you can come up with. At first it felt like a nuisance because it didn't trail off like a real, like if you're drawing with ink, you know, there's a trail to every brush stroke. Then it became kind of comforting, knowing that I have to make sure each one counts. Yeah, so right now I'm working on a bunch of different projects. I'm working on the new lexicon comics, which comes out on my Instagram almost every day. Um, I'm working on solo monk music. I'm working on an animation project, and I'm working on a book that I started a while back. Whenever I quit drinking, I became like really obsessed with death for some reason. Just dawned on me that I was like slowly killing myself or whatever by drinking a bunch with the heart condition. So I became obsessed with death and just couldn't stop thinking about it. It was like fixated on it. It wasn't it wasn't like I was looking for it and everything, but that's just what happened. I just like my brain got obsessed with the idea. Kind of like existential terror. So I started writing a book about what I thought was going to happen when I died. And so it turned into this book. And I gave it I gave it up after 100 or so pages because it just felt morbid. But now, since the shutdown, I've looked at it, read over it, started editing it, started adding to it. It's pretty cool, but it's our society doesn't really like talking about death at all. So it's going to be a tough sell. Be like, hey, yeah, you should read this. It's very enlightening and funny and sad, which is what I like about literature or art. I want to discover something new about myself every time I experience art. I guess that's what I'm looking for most of the time. Something new that was there the whole time. Those type of feelings are good because it gives you hope. It's like if you can look in the mirror every day for 35 years and not get X, Y, and Z, and then all of a sudden see a painting and then understand X, Y, and Z about yourself. That's a powerful thing. It's like discovering a planet inside yourself, a new area, a new. So it looks like he's getting dragged somewhere. So let's don't fight it. It's a big solo monk thing. Just don't fight it. Whatever it wants to be, let it be that. It'll all work out. Just can't fight these things. When the muse hits, I just try to stay prepared all the time, constantly drawing, constantly doodling, writing songs. But yeah, this book that I'm working on is very exhausting. I feel like physically tired after writing it. So I have to do a bunch of research about death. Though I've seen and experienced a lot of death in my life. It seems like it's I don't know, it seems like all of your emotions kind of shut off when it happens. It's not so much that I become Mr. Tough Guy, I'm just maybe in shock when you care about someone and they're no longer there anymore, or they're no longer here with us. It's like a weird general shock, and usually everybody else is so loud and crazy that, like, it's especially in the South, as a dude, it's better for you to just like try to be there for other people. Um, yeah, so I guess the conclusion I came to about death is just you have to let it go. You can't fight it when it comes, and I got really sad whenever I found out I had a heart condition, because it kind of just narrows down the possibilities, I guess, the way you're gonna die. Especially when you know it's like a condition that's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. There's no sustaining. It's just a matter of time with certain things. Makes things a little simpler. It's like I know what I want to do with my time now. I know what I need to do with my time, I guess. I just need to make stuff and make sure I can pay my bills. Hopefully I can survive this capitalism thing. Who knows? I don't think anybody survives life. Yuck. But the idea behind the book is the way I've always dealt with like really things that scare the shit out of me is I just like deal with them, go directly at them. So when I started thinking about death a lot, I just started like researching it a lot, looking through different religions and kind of doing an inventory of how I felt about the way, the ways I've experienced death around and throughout my history, personal history. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out if it's a simulation then. Or it won't be. It'll just like start right back up. That would suck. The older I get, I feel like I've got it down to maybe two ideas. One, it's all definitely a simulation. We're just cattle for something or somebody. Or maybe we're just programs. That's why we get in these like really weird behavioral loops, even if they're destructive. It's just like some people just gotta play the part. And it's like parts they've internalized. Let's say, well, I gotta be this way because this happened to me when I was a kid, and this and this, and that's just the way I am. And if you don't like it, fucking kill yourself. Some people are not open to change or moving forward or forgiveness. And it's like, I don't know, I'm not religious, but in all the religions, it doesn't work out too well for people who are not at least attempting. to find some kind of grace, you know. I feel like sometimes people are so sick that they can't really find the humanity in themselves. They've been like hurt too long, too much. Like my father, he's been in prison for over 30 years, and you know, it's just the way he thinks about things and the way I think about things are two different ways. And that's after spending that much time in prison. He thinks about survival in a different way than I do. And there's no part of what's been done to him that's about rehabilitation. You know, it's like some Puritan, punitive shit going on. And that's what we're really about. Shame and punishment. Shame and punishment, it's the American way. Oh, Hubert. I feel like he probably has an iron deficiency. Most likely. He most likely has an iron deficiency. But yeah, I'm thinking about rereading the Bible, which honestly, if one of my friends said that, I would take that as a mental health situation. But I don't know, I've just always been very critical of it, and I don't think I've read it since my early 20s. So when you're homeless, they really push it on you really hard. And when you're poor, they push it on you really hard. So it's just like, got jammed down my throat for a really long time. So I never probably gave it a fair shake. Just read it to be critical. Didn't read it to be critical, but I definitely read it and was critical. You know, because so many people use it as a way to do messed up things. Super goofy. But I guess that's just the way that goes. Where there's power, there's some old white man trying to find a way to manipulate it. I don't think it helped that I don't think it helped that the religious people in my family were awful people. Just hypocrites. I think they're all on pills now too. You know, they suggested that I exorcism, because I would draw stuff all the time. Because I'm a creative person and I draw. You know, but when I was a kid, I would draw, and they would be like, "Oh my God, this kid is possessed by demons. Look at what he's drawing." And they would be like, "Where do these images come from?" I was like, "I just make them up." And they would just be like, "He's a demon. I can't do that. He's a demon." So they thought I was possessed. And like when I went to certain family members' house, I just like tried to be quiet, hide in plain sight. afraid to speak, afraid to think. Oh Lord, the memories. Someday I'll forget about everything. Become nothing. Join the void. Then I'll miss even my bad memories. Well, because I won't miss anything at all. That's my interpretation of heaven. Is making the next step. Becoming nothing. Not having anything to worry about anymore. Oh Lord. I didn't want to do all this detail. I'm trying to make it a simple drawing, but I started talking and lost track. Oh, Hubert. He's a good pal. Hubert is the star of my book, or variation. The book's gonna be pretty trippy. Oh, trippy, 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 trippy. I wonder if they'll be labeling fiction and non-fiction as dystopian. Like the history book comes out now, is it a dystopian novel? Or is it a dystopian non-fiction or whatever? There's some things that Trump says that's wild. Can you even imagine Barack Obama saying them? It's wild. Let's go down some blushes. Probably about it. Well, I've committed. I just really like texture. And I guess that's a little bit of advice. Do what you like, because you have to do it a lot to get good at it. Sometimes it takes a while for people to see the patterns you're creating. You gotta do them a lot. You gotta build up this world for people to visit. That's all they want. They want to live inside your work. So you gotta build something for them. You must build a world for other people. It's very simple. You must build a door. You must build a room. You must build a floor. You must build 2 floors. 3, 4, 8, 12. A roof. Oh no, you forgot plumbing. You must build plumbing. Just build every little piece. Know why. Think about why. You're an artist. That's kind of what we do. sacrifice to learn more. Go back, tell people what we've seen. Oh. I don't know. I used to really believe in the word art, but the older I get, I don't believe in much. Not in a bad way, just like eventually you unravel everything, you know. You get to a point where you just taking it all apart and looked at it and put it back together. And, I don't know. It's like if you have a car and you've replaced every part on it, is it the same car? Or is it a new car? That's the way I feel about life, and religion, and hope, and ideology, and all of it. I believe because it's good for us. You can't just go around saying nothing matters. But at the same time, for my own personal truth, when I'm alone by myself, nothing really matters. You know, you just try to be a good person while you're still here, and perpetuate the good ideas that people need to continue to be good people. Man, my allergies are messed up. That's one thing that sucks right now, is if you have allergies, it's like every time you have a bad day with allergies, it's like, oh no, it's the coronavirus. It came back. It's back. Oh Lord. Drawing is so soothing. I wish they made bigger pens for bigger hands. Which I guess they probably do. I just did not look, because I didn't order it for myself. I did not order it for myself. Oh, it's getting there. I grew up reading Mad Magazine, and so I always like the idea of there being like one character that's just in a bunch of different situations. I want to do a Hubert and Celebrities series, where it's just Hubert hanging out with different celebrities. That would probably be a little funnier if I was famous and not broke, but So I don't want to do celebrity worship or anything with my art. I want to communicate my interior. Hold up 1 second, I gotta blow my nose. Okay, I apologize. I apologize. Allergies are just ridiculous. The windows have been open at the house for a couple of days now, so I can't breathe. It's tough, but I'll survive. Okay. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. There's something very simple about just like if it's satisfying to my eye, if it's satisfying to me, then I know when other people see it. Because honestly, I'm just hard to impress. Like I'm very hard on myself. I wanna, constantly get better. Find new ways to communicate. Artist communication, that's like the whole shtick. You got a feeling inside, you got a thing. You got a thing that you see, that only you see, and that only you can quantify. And it's your job as an artist to find the best way to quantify it. At least for me. That is for me. there's just, like I've said this a lot, but there's something about art that can unlock an idea in your head that just ends your suffering instantly. You know, weird idea of commiseration, or just, I don't know. There's some things that I've seen or read that just like it hit me strange, changed everything. I just looked at the world differently after that, and I felt better. And that's the type of stuff I want to make. How do you do that? Who knows? Nobody. I think a lot of people are trying to do it. People are trying. I think it's best to just be aware of yourself. Do a daily inventory of yourself, your intentions, your ideas. How are you feeling? What do you need to say? What's the point of saying anything? Go through all of it. Try to stay productive. I don't believe in getting lost in theory or trying to get other people's permission to create art, but I think it's good to try to teach yourself as much as you can. And you kind of have to work with points of authority. You get this information from places, so it's hard to sort out what's good and what's bad. Listen to your intuition. It'll probably tell you the correct route. My intuition is that capitalist evaluation of art is pretty awful. So I try not to get too caught up in classist ideas of how we should make art and how much pay gate there should be between your average person and art education. I think art and music and everything gets better when everybody has access. And then people have to try a little harder when it's not about, well, I had enough money to buy this, or I had enough money to get this, or I don't know. When it's about just people putting in the work, learning, people having the gumption to figure out things on their own. Like, how many people would be artists or try to be artists if there was no place where you could just go give a bunch of money and then they're like, alright, you're an artist now, good luck. If the idea for an artist was like, yeah, what you're going to do is you're just going to paint for the next 30 years and that's how you become a painter. There's no 4-year college. You're just going to have to find someone who's good at it. Honestly, it's probably more interesting if it was like, alright, yeah, you can be a painter, but you're going to have to teach yourself, and you can find plenty of information everywhere, but people just don't feel like they're a painter until they get validated in some kind of way. Or, I mean, you can insert whatever it is, whether it's like a DJ or, I don't know, anything really. People need validation from some point of authority on things. But I get it. I guess I get it. I don't know. Some days I get it, some days I don't. Just can't imagine what I would have been doing if I had this in high school. I'd have already put out 100 graphic novels or some shit. That's one thing I want to do. But I want to wait until I get a publisher because it's really expensive to do by yourself. I can publish books by myself and it's not that big of a deal. But graphic novels are expensive. And I'm not good at raising money. So, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to manifest that one, but it'll happen. Manifest a lot of weird things in my life. Oh boy. Getting there. Yeah, so sometime this summer, my book's going to come out. I'm going to be publishing these little mini-zines and dropping them all over the city. I've already got 2 of them done. I just, because of the shutdown, I haven't dropped them off anywhere because people aren't really out and about yet. I guess they will be soon. We will see. Oh boy. It's exciting towards the end. My brain starts lighting up with the Christmas tree. It's like, oh boy. He's about done. He's about done. And get that bad boy. He's just a sad, sad man. Trapped in a sad, sad land. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Yep. Brain is excited. So close. So close. So incredibly close. I still haven't made dinner yet. Oh man. Oh. Some nostrils here. Tom, tom, tom. There we go. Look at that. Very close. Yep. Okay. There we go, there we go. Oh no. If I keep adding more, I'm gonna have to keep adding more. Those are the rules. Alright. I don't think that's episode 12, y'all. And, thank you for being patient with me as I was rambling and drawing at the same time. I just didn't know what else to do, but I find it important to do these things so I can talk to people. Thank y'all for listening, watching, and until next time, be kind, be safe. Don't forget to love yourself, forgive yourself.